5 clap tests later.
Who knows?
All right. You can do the intro.
Okay.
We got the new name.
Yep.
Can you say it without fucking it up?
Yeah.
Okay. Go for it. Introduce us. You're like closing your eyes to focus.
No, I'm trying to figure out, because I don't want to. Every single time that we start a podcast, we always go like in like some sort of like YouTuber. So like,
oh well, if it
yo
makes,
guys, what's up?
Well, if it makes
Like,
it easier,
I'm trying to like get it. I'm trying to get in the right zone. I'm like, I got like a thing going on where I'm like just trying to click it in the right zone.
Makes it easier on you. This one I'm probably starting before the intro. So
all right.
Go ahead and do the intro.
All right, doing the intro.
It doesn't matter how good it is because we've already started.
Right. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to the long and short of Price and Promuth. My name is Skylar, aka Price. Here with my co-host as always.
Yeah. It's weird that you referred to us as Price and Promuth for the first time on the podcast.
Well, I mean, I just kind of figured like it would be a gimmick that like we would just like say our own names first if we're doing the intro, because it always equals P and P.
I got you, but like you literally were just like, we always sound like Let's Players. Hey, let's throw out some pseudonyms like Let's Players. Hi, it's Markiplier here. Like what?
Well, I mean, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress. It'll come in time. It'll come in time.
Yeah. Okay.
So, how are you feeling today, man? I'm doing pretty all right.
You've been with me since I got off work. What are you on about? How am I doing today? Come on, let's get a topic.
All right, let's get a topic going. So I kind of just did some big brain mathy stuff. I was kind of like on a weird like sort of Joe Rogan style vibe, where I was just like looking up.
Just gotta go ahead and name drop Joe Rogan out
Fuck
there.
it, why not? He's a common enough person.
Yeah, but like I don't know. He's the biggest podcast, I would say.
Well, I was kind of just more name dropping him as a person, like, than a podcast.
As a comedian or as Fear Factor? Which person?
Actually, apparently Fear Factor as well, because apparently he was just stoned during the whole fucking thing.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm sure that guy's always stoned.
Oh yeah.
But he's on it right now, Joe Rogan.
No, yeah, but he's on that like intellectual style stoned, right? So like you're like, so I went ahead and like okay, so to prequel that, I would have to say like I just kind of got off being sick, and so like I was telling you earlier, I kind of got off of this like huge NyQuil haze where I've just been sleeping a lot and then wake up.
How many bottles of NyQuil do you think you went through in 1 week?
I don't, in a week, I mean, I probably...
if it's more than one, it's too many.
75% of one, maybe 50 to 75.
I was about to say, if you said like 3 bottles... Oh.
No, God, no. No, I wasn't over here like chugging it, like making mixed drinks with it, like...
Hey, you know my love of NyQuil. I wouldn't judge.
NyQuil on the rocks, baby. Shaken, not stirred.
We don't do it on the rocks, all right?
You do it dirty?
We do it dirty.
With the olive? The hulls on a toothpick?
No, but every time someone brings up NyQuil, it reminds me of when we all used to live together.
Right.
And, like, I don't remember it that much. Sam actually, your brother, remembers it more than me. I was sick at one point, and like I don't think
I do remember that as well.
And I was taking NyQuil because like you're sick. Why would you not take NyQuil? But like usually you take it the night before. For people who are noobs about NyQuil, let me just inform you. You take it the night before, and then you sleep a blissful 8 to 12 hours.
Oh yeah,
depending on how much NyQuil. But I would say I maybe slept a good, 7 or 8 hours, and I like woke up when Sam came home. Maybe I only slept like 6 because your brother was doing overnights at the time. So maybe he came home earlier and we stayed up late. So maybe I'd only slept like 6 hours, but like he apparently came in, and like I woke up to him coming into the room, and I just like kind of like almost drunkenly was like pointing to the NyQuil bottle, like, hand me that. Hand me that. And he hands me it. And in my sleep deprived state, I fucking chug a bit more of it and pass out for like 6 more hours. But when I woke up, I was better. I wasn't sick anymore. It's gone.
It's almost a beautiful thing. Like you kind of just get yourself through it. Like,
yeah.
And
NyQuil haze.
But yeah, and it's a haze for a reason, because you start to like blur those little bit of lucid nap dreams that you get from just kind of napping on and off all day, because you're like, I fucking called in, like I don't have to have any obligation. I'm just gonna wake up, and if I feel like going back to sleep, I'll take some more NyQuil. If not, I'll just like hang out.
I know you're doing muttering as a joke, but it's very quiet muttering.
I need to work on the muttering part. Like I need to like vocalize that.
It's a jokey
from the
accent
diaphragm.
you do.
It's from the diaphragm.
But I mean, it's something you do when you're joking, even when we're not on the podcast. Is you kind of mutter your jokes sometimes, which is fine and dandy when we're right in person. But when there's a mic that's trying to receive it, it's very like it's tiny.
It's like the tiny little waveforms and shit.
Mm-hmm. When you talk normal, it's fine. It's just when you do your joke voice.
Yeah. I need to find it. I need to find a new joke voice. I think that's what it is.
Yeah. Do your D&D voice you're going to start doing. Your British accent.
I'm not going to do that.
Come on, show us your British accent.
I'm absolutely terrible at accents, though. That's the problem. Okay.
I'm even too intimidated to do an accent on the podcast.
This is going to come off terribly, but, at this point, I mean, I'm going to set the bar really low in the shame department for the podcast early.
Go for it.
So I'm just golden after this. So,
yeah, let's hear it. I don't know if I've ever heard you do a British accent that wasn't
I would royally. I kind of.
I
get almost Australian.
Okay,
yeah, I think that might be what it is. I think I gotta close my eyes too. I think it's like I get a little Australian. That's what I need to steer away from.
It's like keep your mouth small.
So I'd look.
Sorry, I won't laugh.
It's making it worse. Like you're making me more uncomfortable with it. All right.
Wait, you gotta let me get the laughs out first.
All right, get the. All right. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Price.
Dude, I'll never feel bad about my British accent again. Oh my fucking god.
Well, get ready for my character's new voice.
He hasn't shown me his D&D British accent yet. Okay, so we haven't brought it up yet. It's going to be a later topic. We started a new D&D campaign. Sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah.
We hadn't brought that up yet. And he was talking about how he was going to do a slight accent, and so maybe a slight British accent for his character, so that way it was easier to distinguish when he was talking in and out of character. Holy shit, dude. You sound like a sock puppet.
Dude, was it really that bad? I mean, it didn't sound like that bad. I kind of got like a little Oliver.
Were you trying to sound female?
I don't know. I got like a little Oliver
Twist. Because it was so high pitched.
I just feel like
it was very high pitched.
I was definitely trying to get a little.
It's like you were trying to say hoity-toity. Like, but that was like your whole thing. And that's not a good British accent. That was not my British accent saying hoity-toity. That was you. That was me mimicking you.
Irish. The hoity-toity.
Yeah, but that's kind of what
see, I was going for more like a pip-pip cheerio.
Oh, like God. Stop. Why does your voice crack when you do a British accent?
Feels like I'm trying to like
cheerio.
I'm trying to push the natural femininity of the British people.
They're not that naturally feminine. All right, we're shaking the table like a motherfucker, I'm sure. Oh, did you make sure the mic wasn't touching?
Yeah, no. Right, good. There's plenty of room.
Cool, because we're...
trust me, I planned for it.
You're cracking me up with this British accent. Guy, somehow after hearing yours though, I'm still anxious about throwing mine just out there. I've always been anxious about it, dude.
I won't judge.
I just don't know if I can do it into a mic either, dude.
I set the bar too low, man. Go for it. I set the bar super low. The only way you're gonna, if you roll a 1, dude, that's the only way you're gonna be worse than
the only time I'm not scared of doing my accents in public is when I'm drunk. Like, otherwise, I'm so intimidated. Literally, I was friends with a British guy for a year. And, like, all my non-British friends that were also friends with him would tell him, yeah, he has a decent British accent. And then he would be like, let me hear it. And, like... Nope.
No.
I couldn't do it to another British person. And that's why it scares me to put it online. Like, I don't know if I've ever thrown an accent online without it being on accident.
I mean, like I said, I'll close my eyes, I'll look away, I won't judge.
I don't even know what to say. See, no, I get too anxious about this shit.
Just do the intro. Just do the
intro.
Just do the intro in a British accent. That's what I did.
Welcome to the Long and Short with P&P. We've got Price and Prometh here, ready to give you guys a show of a lifetime. Later on BBC, Doctor Who, coming back with many shows to follow every week on Friday.
Dude, that was like so much better than mine. You're over here acting nervous and shit. I think you were hustling. You were podcast hustling.
No.
You're like, oh, I don't want to whip this out. And then you just like whip out some fucking BBC announcer bullshit.
I'm straight up terrified of doing accents online.
That was really good.
Yeah, whatever.
No, dude, I'm telling you, that was really good.
Okay, don't yes man me because...
No, I'm not yes manning you. I'm just saying, like, because I was expecting to laugh if it was going to be garbage. Like,
okay.
But that was really good. Like, not even as a yes man thing.
Okay, all right. I'll take it. I'll take it from a non-British person. I could still never do it in front of an actual British... Wow, my ass whistle there. That was a sharp whistle. I'm surprised that didn't peek out the audio.
How did that even happen?
Probably through, like a gap in a tooth or something? I don't know.
Your British accent's starting to adjust your teeth. And it's...
Rude. That was good though.
Oh my god. Oh, what the fuck were we even talking about?
Well, we were supposed to be going into NyQuil dreams, I think.
Yes. Okay, so going back to it, like it's just like a NyQuil haze. And like I've been like sleeping on and off a lot for like the past week, and it's just kind of blurred together whenever you nap in with that sleep. And so I kind of wanted to this may seem a little off topic at first. It'll come back around. I kind of wanted to ask, like, how often would you say a year that you experience deja vu?
Only with friends, because I don't think I've ever experienced deja vu, and it's not in the middle of some sort of dialogue. Like, it's like me either overhearing a conversation or like participating in a conversation and someone replying in a way that I somehow expected.
Right.
So, it's never been where I'm just by myself and I'm like, hey, I remember doing this.
Yeah. And so, like, I mean, like, how, like, if you just ballpark a number on there, like a year kind of
Once
thing.
in a blue moon.
Once in a blue moon.
Yeah, I don't know how else to...
Apparently, the normal one is a year, and that was shocking to me. Once a year? Once a year. And that was shocking to me, because
At most twice a year, I would say. I don't get it a whole lot. Like, a strong sense of deja vu?
I would say any sort of, even a vague sense. Like, I know it can be questionable at times, but, like, even a vague sense, a strong sense should be worth 2 points.
What is this scale? How is this comparable to the average you looked up?
I mean,
it doesn't sound like it would be. I'm trying to keep it scientific over here. You're over here like, hey, we gotta have this empathic mind thing, you know?
I'm trying to keep it scientific.
Oh my god.
So the reason that I brought this up, and like I said, it comes back around, is because I believe there is a connection to the amount that I have been sleeping lately, especially like with my brain all frazzled with fucking NyQuil, and a recent upkeep of deja vu that I've had. I've had at least 3 cases in the past month. Like, and I would even say like, 2 out of the 3 have been like in the past week.
Sorry, my foot started to cramp, and I was like, visibly, like, you could probably see the O face that I did there for a second, where it was just, oh. It was like, if that starts and doesn't stop, that's gonna kill the podcast.
Oh no, because
you're
gonna have to stand up, because is it like one of the ones where the toes curl up?
It
and
hasn't
shit?
gotten to that stage yet. Let's not talk about it.
Okay,
I can feel it like slightly starting to spring, where it's like, hey, if you move your foot the wrong way, I won't let you move it back. You better keep it perfectly still, bitch. That's where I'm at right now. I'm keeping my left foot perfectly still so it doesn't cramp. I apparently need to eat a banana or something.
Eat a banana or a spoonful of mustard. That's what I heard. That's another one.
Like,
that works.
But
a little bit of vinegar.
It's been cramping all day. It cramped at work like 3 times. I should have prepared better. But keep going. Sorry, I got distracted heavily.
Well, I mean that's the whole point of the podcast, though. I mean, we just kind of go.
No, yeah, I'm just explaining why I got distracted. It's a pressing matter in my head
so
right now.
like keep me updated on that if you start to get the full
I'm just keeping my foot
cramp
perfectly still.
We can always do a cut or something if needed.
It's all good.
But yeah, so in the past like month alone, I've experienced 2. One yesterday, and I've experienced at least 3. I would say probably in the past 3-month period, and like.
So you're a psychic.
See, that's what I've always thought.
Oh my god. I was joking.
That's what I've always thought.
You're not psychic.
No, I am not psychic. But...
What, you think everyone's psychic?
No.
Where's this going? Sorry, I'll try and be less cynical. Throw it
out there. I mean, this is just kind of an open-ended thing because the whole reason is because I found there were 3 common explanations on what causes deja vu. And I, coming fresh off of a deja vu experience yesterday, have kind of gotten my idea on what explanation makes the most sense to me. So I just figured I'd list it off and see if any of them kind of resonates with you or if it's all mumbo jumbo. So split perception. First one, the first experience is brief, degraded, occulted, or distracted. Immediately followed by that. Second perception might be familiar because the person naturally related to the first one. So something happens, something else happens that's pretty similar to it. You make that connection. You're like, okay,
That one sounds a bit basic. Go on.
I thought it was at first too, but then I kind of thought about it a little bit more, and I realized there's a lot of random events that happen in my life that I just don't think twice about. So I could imagine there's plenty of times where I've done something the exact same way, or something has happened to me before, and my brain was just like, oh, it's just a one-off thing, and I don't think about it.
See, I can't attribute it to that because when I get deja vu, it's exact lines of dialogue.
Right.
It's not just oh, I think I remember playing a game with a friend and him dying and me laughing. That happens all the time. I laugh at people dying all the time in video games. That's not right. Deja vu. Deja vu for me is straight up, you said that before, after I said this before, and then afterwards that thing happened. It's always 3 coincidences.
Right.
Because if it was just 1 or 2 coincidences, or just a faux perception thing, I don't think the pattern dots would be connected that easily.
And see, I think for me, and this is why this I don't really think applies to me as well, because for me, it's always been in kind of the same sense as you, a rule of 3 situation. It's always been a very clear setting, a place, I'm at a work or something, and then it's always been somebody saying something, and there is a specific line of dialogue there, or somebody says something, or hands me something or something like that, and then always just a little random thing, an object that I've noticed, there's a knife there or something.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't really think the split perception thing really applies too much with that.
Let's do the next one.
Okay. So the next one is the memory-based explanation. Research has associated deja vu experiences with good memory functions. Recognition memory enables people to realize the event or activity that they're experiencing has happened before. When people...
Okay, keep going. Sorry.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, it's pretty. It doesn't really when people experience deja vu, they may have their recognition memory triggered by certain situations which they have never encountered.
See, I have thought that before, but then there's sometimes where it doesn't make sense for it to have happened before. It's why we couldn't have had this conversation before because these things weren't a thing,
Right. Right.
I can't give specifics. Obviously, it's been too long since I had a deja vu that I didn't write it down.
And plus, they're fleeting, so it's just a weird feeling.
But I feel like it's too time specific. It can't just be that. That feels too much like the first explanation. Let's hear another.
Right. And then there is a sub one. It is a huge paragraph that I kind of didn't really want to skim too far into. It's called cryptomnesia, and it's a reconstruction of a memory. So it's essentially the same thing, but it's just like a more complex version of it. Like,
what are these basic bitch reasons for having deja vu? These aren't cool at all.
Nah.
These are like, hey, if you go to your doctor and say, "Oh, I got deja vu. What's wrong with me, doc?" You paid him $60. This is what he's gonna read off Google.
Yeah,
for you
exactly.
real quick, exactly. Like, wow. No, I thought you were gonna read off some cool shit, like our dreams, our memories, or like our dream, something like that. But
right.
I don't know. If anything, I would associate it more with like a more cool theory, like potentially like. It's a brief time dilation of sorts, because when we see things with our eyes, it is already delayed.
Yeah.
It takes time to reach our brain, and there is a delay there. We are already always seeing the past. So maybe something happens, like a brief brain synapse or something, and you saw, maybe your processor speed zoomed for one little second, like you overclocked for a second, and you saw ahead.
I'm glad you said that, because there's another thing here. Here's my next one, which, I kind of made them a little bit more interesting as you go down.
Yeah.
A lot of people associate it with a temporal lobe epilepsy.
Bam. I didn't even know that was a thing. I'm just a genius.
The experience is a neurological anomaly related to epileptic electrical discharge in the brain, creating a strong sensation that an event or experience currently being experienced has already been experienced in the past.
Because it did, but like 10 seconds ago.
Yeah. Or, essentially it's a misfiring.
Yeah, not seconds. That's probably too long. But like centiseconds or some shit. Like, that's probably too long. I don't know.
Right. And so it's essentially a misfiring in your temporal lobe, which your temporal lobe is in charge of your vision, memory, sensory input, language, emotion, and comprehension. Yeah. So pretty much your whole sense of being.
No, yeah, exactly. That's where my mind goes. Fuck those first three explanations.
And that one I like. That one makes a lot of sense to me. And apparently that is more common with people with epilepsy. They're more common to have deja vu style feelings. And, 2/3 of the population has experienced at least a normal...
What are you muttering? What are you...
2/3 of the population has experienced at least a normal rate, so...
you were just
last one
your reading.
was, yeah. I was just kind of like skimming the last part of it, because it was just kind of like still basing it off the little first part of the sentence. And the last one is just the dream-based explanation, which,
I asked you if you had cool explanations, and you said no. And then I went and gave my explanation. I was holding off until you said one that I agreed with. But you acted like you were done after the first three, so I went out there, and then you had two more.
Oh, no, but because, I like the one that you went out there, because that was actually, that was my favorite one, was the firing off.
Yeah, but it would have been like... I don't know. It worked the way it happened, but the original plan for me, at least, was I was going to wait till you said that something like that, and I was going to agree with it and then pitch it. But I thought you were done after three.
Oh, yeah.
I thought you were done with it after you said
those are just the boring ones. Yeah, those are just the boring ones.
Who starts with three basically the same boring-ass explanations? Next time, just cut that down to one boring one. Or two. 3? No, I'm just giving you shit.
Cut that down to one boring one. Or 2. 3? No. But yeah, and then, so the dream-based explanations, another one of my favorite ones. It pretty much just links deja vu with dream frequency. So, people may experience deja vu because some elements in their remembered dreams were shown.
Yeah, I've heard that one before.
Good one. Your brain just kind of,
See, this is why I didn't care about the basic ones, because I'd heard that one before, and I was like, how does he not even have, like, that one in his list when he's been talking about dreams?
Yeah.
I didn't know you were waiting for, like, a punchline effect, like, bam, here's the cool ones, boys and girls.
Yeah. I was going to do a top 10.
It was under the trench coat the whole time.
No, but, yeah, so I think that kind of explains some of my deja vuing, as well as I think I've just been sleeping more overall lately.
Yeah.
And I've been having some pretty reoccurring dreams lately as well.
Okay.
Which is another thing that I wanted to get into, or at least dreams in general, because like first off, with NyQuil, I have some of the most fucked up dreams I have ever had. Like,
they're just less easy. As someone who lucid dreams on a semi-regular basis, or like semi-lucid, I wouldn't call it full lucid dreaming.
Right.
Yeah, NyQuil dreaming is like the hardest one to like actually enact any kind of will in or wake up from voluntarily. Yeah, NyQuil's a ride.
Yeah, it is. Because once you get locked into a kind of disturbing or scary dream, you're kind of stuck there for a while. And it's usually realistic. Like, NyQuil dreams make it, like, give me, like, really realistic dreams. Like, just puts me in scary situations that I'm like, yeah, that could happen. Like, I'm just getting mugged in the street or some shit. Nobody's helping me kind of thing.
I think mine are just more sexual on NyQuil.
NyQuil.
I'm probably just humping the bed in the middle of the night.
Oh my god.
Hope Sam woke up. Like, it was just like in that same room, just like, what the fuck?
I've always been scared to sleep on my stomach when I was growing up, because especially around puberty, when you get like morning,
when you think
morning
you were gonna
woods and
break
it's
your
hardest.
dick.
Yes. And there was one time when I was a teenager and I was laying face down because like I was just sleeping, and I woke up and like I had like some of the worst morning wood ever, and I swear to God I heard a pop. I swear to God I heard a pop. And it didn't feel weird after that. Nothing was different. Everything's fine. Everything's been fine.
That noise I made. Peeked it out, sorry.
Everything's been fine, but like I that's always scared me. It's always scared me since then. I get weird little phobias like that, man.
That's so crazy to me. Dude, I've never worried about sleeping on my belly, dude. My boner will just go down. Like it'll either like not be a full chub to where I'm like in pain, or if I start to get in pain, sleeping me's not a dumbass and will fucking rotate like away from the pain. But I will say, I can't completely give you shit, because on a semi-related note, the one time I felt pain in a dream, the only time I actually felt pain, which threw me off, I think it's because I felt pain in real life at the same time, but it was on my, I don't know if it was on my dick or my balls, but one of them. I got kicked, I think, in the dream or something, and I felt it. I fucking felt it. And I think it was just like a hella coincidence, like, or maybe I was starting to pinch my balls, and then like I got kicked in the dream because my dream was trying to like accommodate it. Right. I don't know.
And then you just woke up with sore balls.
I woke up and I was like, yeah, I woke up with sore balls, and I was like, what the fuck?
Did I just like Freddy Krueger on my nutsack?
Yeah, straight up. I was confused, dude. I questioned my reality for a second.
If you get kicked in the balls in your dream, you get kicked in the balls
and
for
I've
real.
had sleep paralysis before, and that made me question my reality a bit.
Actually, you know what? I've always wondered about that because I've never had that before.
Sleep paralysis?
Yeah, I have a general idea on
Take
what
a bunch
it
of
is.
NyQuil and I'll slap you awake one night and see if you can move. That's basically sleep paralysis.
Yeah.
It's pretty easy on NyQuil. I've done it to myself only on NyQuil, I think. I don't think I've ever done it naturally. Lucid dreaming, I think, maybe has led to it one time.
Oh, I could believe that.
But NyQuil, I think, has done it to me before, too. Because, like, it's just basically you wake up, but not fully. Your body doesn't wake up, just kind of your mind. So you can't move. And a lot of people associate it with like some sort of hallucination to a degree. Like not a real hallucination, but they see something weighting down their chest.
Right.
And I think it's just your mind trying to compensate for the fact to explain why you can't move your body, because you can't move your body. I seem to recall it more feeling like my arms were being held down, because I was actively trying to like. I pretty much given up on like moving my legs, and I was literally just trying to move my arms
Jesus Christ.
from my sides, so that way I could like, I don't know, push myself out of bed. I don't know. I just wanted to move.
The fuck?
And you can't move, and it's very scary.
God, yeah, that's terrifying. The closest I've ever gotten to that was just waking up from terrible nightmares where I'm too scared to like turn over or look. Until like my brain fully registers, like, okay, no wait, I'm back in reality.
Yeah,
but I've never had
similar,
like I
sure.
literally couldn't move my body.
It's weird
that
when you can't move your body, for sure. I mean, it feels like you've been poisoned or something. It feels, like it's straight out of a movie paralysis kind of shit.
Oh, dude, some Final Fantasy shit.
What happens in Final Fantasy?
Just like a general paralysis.
Are you talking a paralysis spell?
Yeah, of course I'm talking
any
about
RPG. Why did it have to be Final Fantasy?
Because I just thought about Final Fantasy 12 for a second. I don't know why. Like, I have no idea why. Like, that's just my go-to now.
I got you. That's
just
one of your
games.
That's one of your games.
Well, it may not be my go-to for much longer. The Final Fantasy 7 release is going to be coming out, the remake, and it actually looks pretty good. I watched it at E3, and then apparently they have a free demo on. It's like an hour-long demo.
It's a remake, so you're gonna enjoy it. But
but they completely redid everything.
They redid the combat and everything.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I knew that much. Yeah, they made it a modern ass version.
Right, and I was skeptical at first. I was very skeptical
for sure. But it's still a story game. I feel like you beat a story game and then you're done with it. I don't feel like you can get a new story game to have that nostalgic feeling unless you played it in your childhood.
Right.
Since 20 plus, I don't think I've had a single game that I've been like, oh yeah, that game's fucking amazing. There are plenty of great games, but there's no game I'm not gonna ever get another Dragon Age Origins. I'm never gonna get another Mass Effect trilogy. I'm never gonna get another Skyrim. Skyrim, I know isn't that great. I get that Oblivion and Morrowind are better, but Skyrim was so big in high school that it was like a thing. Like, people were coming to school and talking about what level they got to the night before. Like, motherfuckers were talking about how they killed, 14 wolves at once, and everyone was like,
Yeah. That was fucking... Weirdly enough, just because that was the school I went to, that was fucking how we were about Persona 4. That was the thing. Everybody go and just talk about it. Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah.
You went to a weird high school.
I told I think I've even mentioned it on the podcast before, but it was just an art-based high school. We didn't have a sports team or anything. It was a magnet school, so you had 3 options. You could do an art elective, you could do a law elective, or you could do a science elective. And I started out in science, and that was boring, so I switched over to law. Because my mom wouldn't let me do art. Because she did art in high school, and it didn't work out for her. So,
wow, you should tell your therapist that one, because that one's a big can of worms we're not gonna go into.
I mean,
that's a.
I mean, it's still either way. I guess
I'm not trying to openly diss your mom, but that was a misstep on her part for sure.
Well, I mean, yeah, but
no, the whole art as a career will not be that high of a chance of success. You can tell your kid that, but saying, "Hey, I failed at my dreams, so don't pursue yours," that's a little too far, maybe.
Yeah.
But we're not opening this can of worms.
No, we're not opening the can of worms. But I mean, there's not even really a can of worms there, because
if you don't think there's a can of worms there, that's a problem.
There's a can of worms there.
You need to tell a therapist that one.
I don't need to
tell a therapist a can of worms.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't need to tell a therapist.
That was messed up. What your mom did was messed up.
That was not that messed up.
That was messed up.
No, that wasn't that
messed up. That's pretty bad. For a good mom, that's pretty bad.
Okay, yeah.
You had a good mom.
Yeah, no, when you
that
put
was
it,
pretty
okay,
bad.
Yeah, no, when you put it that way, yeah, no, that may, yeah.
I'm not saying you had a bad mom. You had a great mom. That was a misstep.
Okay, I get what you're saying now. Yeah, I mean,
I'm not dissing
in
your
a
mom.
way it could be, but at the same time, I've always, I don't know. I just kind of, everybody always wonders what kind of person they would be like.
You know what I will tell my kid that I will never have? High school doesn't matter. Do whatever the fuck you want. No one cares. Because it's true. And I say that as someone who went through high school with all A's. No, and graduated valedictorian. No one gives a fuck. No one. Zero. You know what it got me? It got me an awkward introduction for like 3 or 4 years after high school. Anyone from high school, when they would see me and introduce me to anyone that didn't know me, from that point on was, hey, this is Nick. He was our valedictorian. Don't know why they would introduce me that way. Maybe they thought it was cool. It was not cool. I did not like it. The amount of times I got introduced to people's parents as that. Oh, and then God, the parents were like, oh.
Oh, no. God, no.
Like, and then I'd have to explain, like, so I work in retail. So I dropped out of college.
Oh, God. Oh, dude, no. That reminds me, there was something that I kind of wanted to bring up, whether it was on or off the podcast. So, there's somebody that's trying... There's somebody that's trying to get... I don't know how they found my Facebook, by the way, because I don't have my real name on Facebook. I use, like, a different name.
Someone found your Facebook?
They found me on Facebook. An old classmate, class of 2010, that was my class, trying to get a fucking reunion set up.
Oh, I thought you were saying related to the podcast. I was, like, really weirded out. I was like, dude.
Oh, no.
That'd be really weird if someone already found you on Facebook.
No, God, no. God, no.
I was like, we don't even have any viewers. How the fuck do you get found?
No.
Oh, an old classmate. Okay.
Yeah, no, I was just talking about, like, you know, like, it's...
They're supposed to do that.
I'm not doing it, though. Like, and he kept trying for a couple years, but I guess it's really picking up steam this time because a lot more people are hopping on board with it. And
yeah, that means a lot more people are depressed or wanting to show off.
And that is where I am drawing the line, because... the very same guy that's sending all these invites out was a huge fucking dick. He was an asshole. He was stupid. Like, he was a bully. Don't hold
people that. I was a bully.
Yeah. Like,
well, I was a bully's sidekick. Let me rephrase that. I wasn't even cool enough to be the
But,
bully.
but like, I mean, this guy was like just a dumb as bricks bully. And now he's like a fucking, he owns his own, like, you know, like architectural, like,
oh yeah, you don't want, so you're on the side where you don't want to see the other successful people.
Oh no, yeah, I was almost gonna go because I was gonna be like, man, it would kind of be cool to catch up with some of the people I like to hang out with, you know, maybe catch a little, like, you know, flashback snatch, but like, I didn't want to.
I'm sorry, you threw me off there. I was thinking about something, and then I was like, wait, did I just miss flashback snatch?
Yeah.
And then I was like, what? Yeah, I heard that. Okay. Yeah. What?
But, well, I mean, you know, some people, maybe if you dated in high school, they're just as sad as you
dated in high school. You ain't getting anyone you dated in high school.
I mean, the kind of people I dated in high school, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe
I heard you dated some pretty decent people in high school.
Well, I mean, no. Well, I mean,
wow,
maybe.
Rude.
No, yeah, no.
Rude. That was
actually, no. Actually, no, I did.
Your brother said they were
no, I was not a decent person.
Yeah,
so in my
Sam
mind
said that
time,
too.
Yeah,
he said you were the asshole.
Yeah, in my mind at the time, I thought everybody else was not a decent person. When in
that's
fact,
why
I was not.
And that's why I'm saying you would get no flashback snatch because I've been told how you left all these.
No, that's fine though because like I'm such a different person now. I'm a much like more even as non-confident as I can get
you
sometimes.
assume they just forgave you?
Oh yeah. I mean, dude, this shit was like over fucking like 10, 20 years ago. It's 20 years ago.
Okay, I'm gonna go more brutal here. Do you think you're as like hot as you were when you were younger? You know, like, I mean, not saying, you know.
Well, see, that's the problem though. That's what I was saying. Like, I was enticed by meeting some old friends. I was enticed by the free food, probably alcohol. I was enticed by like talking to some cool teachers and like maybe getting some flashback snatch. But then I realized like, I'm not gonna fucking like the shit that I have to bring to the table is embarrassing compared to what everybody else, because that was supposed to be like you get randomly selected kind of high school. Like you put applications in, you get randomly selected. So I was where the system failed. Like, and it just feels weird showing up.
I guarantee it's randomly selected to a degree, and there's a like I'm sure you can pay your way in.
I'm sure you could too.
I'm sure Architect Boy potentially has good parents And I'm sure even though Architect Boy's only average intelligence, he was funded to go to school. And when he went to said school, he heard the motto, C's get degrees, and he followed through. And look, it worked out for him. See, that works for some people. And
there
I'm
was
not
a lot of rich families at that school.
That's what I'm saying. And that's what a lot of people do. They do average in college, and that's fine. That gets you the degree. And they go on and they have an average life. And I honestly, I don't know if I talked about it, but part of my reason for dropping out is because I get so neurotic about, like, I can't do the C's get degrees thing. Like, the idea of getting below a B, like, I don't even know why I care. Like, it's not like I have scholarships that are, like, based on GPA or anything. Yeah. It just stresses me out if I don't understand things. I can't do the whole, I understand half of it, I'll learn the rest on the job, I need to learn it all now. And that doesn't work. There's just so much that they try and shove at you. They're really trying to just shove enough and see what sticks. And that, I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I could totally see that.
And I mean, that's why I don't necessarily, as much as I can't say college degrees aren't impressive, because obviously I don't have one and I've tried twice, so I can't talk shit. I don't necessarily, say, oh, you have a degree, you're smart. It's more, you're a hard worker or you're persistent, It's one of those qualities that you have for sure. Because that's what a degree really needs, is a hard worker or someone who's persistent in the face of, like, stress.
Yeah.
I see stress and I buckle.
Same. In a heartbeat.
Like, work stress I can handle, but mental stress, like, I put myself through it too much at a young age, like, trying to be the very best, the best there ever was, to steal from the best.
Digimon.
You hurt me with that joke, but I like it. But yeah, I think I stressed myself too much at a young age, and now I have a compulsion where, like, now I just want to avoid stress at all costs, But this is getting back into therapy talk. When did we leave reoccurring dreams? 20 minutes ago, maybe?
I don't even know what time it is.
We're 45 minutes in.
This has been a recursion. We're 45 minutes in, really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's interesting.
What, you thought we were short?
Yeah.
No.
I mean, I don't know. It feels like...
That's why I'm trying to backtrack to your recurring dreams thing, because if we're going to do your topic... so where were we at in that?
Well, I was just talking about dreams in general.
Because I don't think you even said what your reoccurring dream was.
Well, because it's funny that we actually kind of got off topic and in a weird way going to loop back onto topic with the reunion thing, but, like, I've been having dreams of being, like, back in my high school in different situations in a weird way. Like, there was like one time, like one dream I'm getting, like, it's the same layout, the same school, but, like, there's, like, a SWAT team that's, like, following me or some shit.
Okay.
And then, like, there's another one where just, like, everything's been converted into, like, a hotel, and, like, all my teachers are living in their classrooms.
Okay. So you're having dreams about high school.
Yeah, it's weird. I don't know why. I think maybe... but I want to say I think maybe it was the reunion thing, but, like, they've been going on for, like, years.
The reunions?
No, the dreams.
About high school?
Yeah.
So maybe it's related to you having some issues. This is getting back to therapy talk. See,
it's hard to talk about dreams.
That's all podcast is like therapy. But,
exactly.
But, like, it's weird when it's a one-on-one therapy session.
It does. It's a little weird.
It's like we bounce back and forth between being each other's both therapists. Tell me more. Do you think this is related to this?
Well, see, I never expected this, because I didn't think about how you can't really talk about dreams without trying to break down the psychology behind it. And that just goes right back to therapy talk.
I mean, I'm about to talk about some dreams and they can't go back to therapy talk. But I will say your reoccurring nightmares about high school that you've had since for years, maybe they have to do with dropping out of high school. I don't know. Maybe that fucked you in the head a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, or, like, created a complex,
I think so. Like, and... Yeah, I mean, that makes a lot of sense.
I mean, that's an easy explanation.
It's an easy one,
I've never had a reoccurring dream, so I can't really come up with a good reason. Like, I've had maybe similar nightmares.
Right.
But never a reoccurring dream. Like, for years?
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? It's like you have PTSD, dude.
No.
You wake up screaming like,
no,
I won't go back!
Because some of them are pretty chill and cool. And then sometimes they're like ass. Like, as dreams just tend to be.
So, sometimes you're getting laid in high school, and sometimes you're learning.
I think besides that, I think the only other reoccurring dream I had it was more when I was younger. I think between 10 and 13, at least twice a month, I would have a dream of, like, it was all completely sepia toned. And it would be, at the time, I didn't know what it was. Like,
it's a flashback. It's sepia toned, dumbass.
It's such your ass. That's not how that works. It would be in black and white first off.
No.
With like a little white around the edges.
No.
A little blurry.
Sepia works.
Sepia
we
works.
Can tint it. We'll just tint it
a
a color. That's what they did back in the day, right? They just tinted it a color.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no.
For soap operas?
Yeah, no, they would just have like a little like lens of the sepia color
tint or something.
It, like, yeah, and they just slide it in front of the camera.
Yeah, it's a flashback.
And then it would just be like a flashback scene. I don't think this is a flashback though, because I don't think this is a flashback.
All right,
because
whatever.
I've never see, and here's the weird thing. Maybe I saw it on TV or something, but like I've never like seen what a plantation looks like before. Like the ones in New Orleans, like the renovated ones.
Oh, you mean a plantation house?
Yeah.
Okay, I was about to say, like, where are you going with this?
Oh, no. Oh, God, no. Oh, God, no. The sepia tone. Oh, my God. Why can't I...
I was wondering where you were going with this.
Oh, it's going back to the... Oh, no, it's going back to the fucking other podcast.
I was like, what kind of flashbacks are you having,
No.
dude? Your ancestors' memories popping in?
Oh, my God, no. I hope not. No, like, it's just like, it's like a plantation house, and like, I've never seen a house like that before in my life. All I've ever known is like just normal 2-story houses and like, maybe trailers.
They have them in my hometown, like in the middle of the lower end district.
Right.
I mean, you lived there for a bit. You didn't see them, those really huge ones, like in the middle of all the shitty houses. There's one really nice brick house.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've seen them here and there, but
those are definitely plantation houses.
I mean, obviously I've seen them before. I mean, I was talking about how like
when you were that young.
Yeah, when I was that young, I've never seen them before, so okay. I didn't know what it was. Like I just always woke up and I was like, oh, that's a weird house, and like sometimes there would be like maybe a scarecrow that's chasing me, and it's like frightening, and then sometimes I would just be walking around the outside of it, but like years down the road when I first go to New Orleans, like I put it together, like, because I'm, you kind of see all the renovated plantation houses and stuff. And I was just like, oh shit, like, that's what that is. Like, I've never seen that before.
So what happened in the dream besides it being sepia toned in a plantation house?
It's the same fucking house, but every time I go into it, like, sometimes, like, the inner workings, like, the inner, like, layout of it would change. But, like, it would always eventually, like, it would just be, like, the same, like, kind of style, like, layout. Like, sometimes the rooms would change. Sometimes it'd be 2-story and 1-story.
But what would you be doing? Just looking around the house?
Sometimes I'd be, like, chased by something, and I don't know what it is.
So it was a nightmare?
Right.
Most of the time?
Mm-hmm.
All the time?
More often than not, but that's just because a creepy, like, kind of wispy plantation house in sepia tone's just kind of scary anyways. Even if it's a fucking, like, wine and dine party in there, it's still a little creepy.
I gotcha. I mean, yeah.
I mean, that's the only other reoccurring dream that I've had.
I've never really had reoccurring dreams. I have dreams that were iconic, like, specifically when I was younger. Since I started lucid dreaming, dreams had become both more enjoyable, or on and off slightly lucid dreaming. I'm not trying to have people over here like, what, you lucid dream every night? No, of course not. Like, it's not even something I voluntarily do. It just happens sometimes and I go with it.
Right.
But it has made dreams less memorable as a whole because I can't put as much weight into them because I have
kind of a little bit of
free
sway.
will. Yeah. But when I was a kid, there was ones that definitely stood out to me, and so much so that like I remember writing them down. I think as almost like a short story or like in my journal at school. And like so, one of them was I went into my garage, and it was filled with pillows. So, like, completely filled to the ceiling with pillows. Like,
right.
You look up, you see a wall of pillows, right? And I see this, and I'm like, wow. And I climb up to the top of these pillows, and at the top are a bunch of bears. And I'm like, fuck. So I jump down the pillows immediately and start to run out of my garage. And one of the bears wakes up and chases me. And as I'm coming out of the garage, he grabs my hand and catches it and sprays whipped cream on it and then starts eating it.
No fucking way. No way. And are you feeling like the pain of it?
No, I never felt pain besides the balls that one time. Remember? We talked about this.
Well, no, I was talking about even like in the dream, like
I never
did you
felt
just feel like
pain
a
in a
pressure
dream
or anything, or was it just a purely visual? This guy
was purely visual. I
Just
don't know
eat
if
my
I
hand
ever
with
felt
some
like a
whipped cream?
pressure. He was, just bear eating my hand. That one wasn't necessarily as scary. Still, I would label it as a nightmare. As a kid, it was a nightmare. As a grown-ass adult, I'd probably find it fucking hilarious. I'd wake up laughing. I'd be like...
Yeah, stupid.
But as a kid, I woke up, I think, probably screaming. But the other one was like a weird like recursion thing where like I would go, it wasn't a recurring like dream where I had it multiple nights, but it was all in the same night. So I went into this house, not my house, but it was a house, and my family was there, and they were just doing normal family things in the first version of it. And then this like I can't remember if it was a clown. I think I hated clowns. I think it was a dude with a clown mask. He just like comes in and like kills one of my family members. And then the dream restarts and that family member's gone. And that just kept happening with me trying to convince them to hide or run or anything until I was like the last one.
Dude, you created the first indie game with your dream.
Like it was horrifying. Like like when I was the last one, I remember like hiding under the bed, hoping that even though I was the last one, he would just still not get me. And then I think that's when I woke up.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten got by anything. I just get chased a lot mostly.
Oh, you just remembered me of another iconic one. So you know that effect when you're getting chased in a dream where you can't run as well? Like normally you can run maybe fine in a dream, but as soon as you're getting chased by something,
Slow-mo?
all of a sudden you're in slow-mo. Or you're chugging, or like your legs feel tired, or you just can't fucking go.
Interestingly enough that you brought this up, because on a completely unrelated thing earlier, me and my brother were talking about Sam. I'm going to have him on the podcast at some point. He actually said he's interested, so... we were talking about how, we were actually talking about the slow-mo and the dreams. And, I looked up, like, kind of what the meaning, or some people think the symbolism behind that is. And it kind of seems to be the general consensus is just, like, that represents something in your life that you feel is holding you back from progress or moving forward or something.
Dude, that's some hippy dippy shit. I think it's just straight up, like... You're in a nightmare. Your mind is your mind is what's creating said nightmare, and it's so focused on creating the idea that you're being chased that it's like, oh, you want to feel scared? You can't run now. Like it's just giving you what you want. I don't think it's any like, oh, dude. You know what you remind me of? So today at work, old Bish comes up to my fucking register and she's like, what's your name? Nicholas? That's 8 letters, right? And I'm like, yeah, I guess. You know better than me. Like I looked down at my name tag to double check if my name is 8 letters. And she's like, she starts rattling things off like, you've always wanted to travel, but not just travel out of country.
The fuck?
You don't like to be bossed around. You want to be the boss. Like, all this fucking bullshit. Like,
she's slinging name and numerology.
Straight up numerology at me. She's like, it's numerology, my dear.
Oh my god. That sounds like the worst Sherlock Holmes ever. It's numerology, my dear Watson.
Oh my god.
WATSON. 3 letters. 17th letter. Divided by 4.
But I was just like, dude, it got me for that split second, dude. Because, like, it does, right? All that fucking, like, astrology, fucking pseudo fucking...
It's almost so broad enough that it's easy to relate to.
stuff that people want to believe about themselves. Like, I do want to be the boss. Don't I? I do want to travel outside of country.
I am a handsome boy. That's what my handsome line on my poem says. I'm a good noodle.
But yeah, I don't know. I'd never ascribed to that hippy dippy shit. Like, I'm all for, like, it being something super scientific, or like even like science fiction, even like maybe like stuff as far as like what is the word, people who can see the future. Clairvoyance. That's not the cool word.
It's fine.
But we're both dropping on the word,
we'll
so
go
we're
for
going
it
for it.
We'll go for it.
Either way, I'm fine with that if I didn't think most of the people who do it are charlatans. But if that did exist, I could believe it.
Right.
Because that one I could kind of maybe see. But like the idea of like, your soul just needs more flowers in your life. That's why you saw flowers in your dreams. Like, dude, I saw flowers in my dreams because I saw flowers at the market earlier today.
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
come on.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I mean,
dream reading books and shit like that have always been like my threshold where I start checking out. And
right.
I'm down for some fucking batshit conspiracy level shit. But then, like, nah.
I mean, I wouldn't even reject the notion of a little bit of supernatural going on, but like, not. I feel like if we harness the power as humans to be able to do even half the shit that we claim to do, we'd just destroy each other.
Well, if we could do more shit with our minds without the aid of hallucinogens per se, then it would have been a more common practice. Like, not to say we'd have full-on wizards, but if we could do that much with our mind, maybe we'd have a bit more people studying it at this point. Maybe it wouldn't just be this supposed lost art that you can only find in the novelty book section at fucking Barnes and Noble, Dream reading and numerology, alright, Maybe we'd have a few professors in it, not trying to say that, like, only legitimate things have to have professors.
Low-key throwing the shade.
But, like, yeah, fuck his shit.
Fuck his shit. It's bullshit.
But yeah, no, I did have a dream, I don't know, just wrapping up that idea from earlier where I was talking about running slower. There was one I remember from my childhood where I was at my elementary school and I was trying to run away from a tornado that was, like, coming. And yeah, just that I couldn't run fast.
Yeah, and that always fucking sucks.
Yeah,
I feel like, actually, I get a lot less running fast and a lot more feeling trapped. I get a lot of, like, locked doors, walls, or doors that become walls.
That's why I think
like
it's just your mind saying, oh, you want horror? You got horror then, bitch. Because it's just, for you, it's walls and doors. For me, it's literally like, it's not like I just can't run.
Right.
It's like, I can run, then I'm running slower, then I'm walking. Why can't I walk anymore?
Yeah.
Like, mine's different, like, than yours, apparently.
I wonder if that relates on any aspect of our personality or lives.
I think it's just how our brain computes the fucking scary shit, like what we think is scarier.
It tries to go for that deep fucking, tries to go for that deep scare.
I think it's just our brain being, I think our dreams are just our brain being GM for a bit and being like, oh, you want to see what reality I create? Okay, let's do it.
I mean, Yeah, honestly, and that, to me, that makes the most sense, because lately my dreams have been less horror-ish anyways, and more just like super awkward scenarios and situations that could possibly either get me fired, me getting arrested, anything like that. Like more realistic horror.
Don't knock nightmares, man. Nightmares are what encourage me to lucid dream.
Sometimes they can get lucid, or lucid. They can get crazy sometimes, but for me lately, it's even just been some of the more realistic, like, seriously fuck my life up kind of shit.
But I mean, like, I'm not saying they're not bad. They're definitely bad.
Right.
But I'm saying they can encourage you. Like, for instance, when I was a kid, so I had a lot of nightmares as a kid. Mm-hmm. Dreams are a weird topic to go into. Because, like, I don't think you knew, like, you knew I lucid dreamed occasionally, but I don't know if you knew how much dreams affected me as a kid. I had a lot of nightmares as a kid, to the point where I started doing a mantra before I would go to sleep at night, where I would just lay there in bed with my eyes closed, and I would just say over and over, I will not dream. I will not dream. I will not dream. Damn. I will not dream. Like, until I would fall asleep.
Jesus.
And it would work. I wouldn't dream. I would just see black. Or at least I wouldn't remember the dreams anymore. So that killed my nightmares for a bit. But then for some reason, I think they started coming back. Or, like, I started dreaming again, and then, like, they leaked back in. And that's when I first lucid dreamed. I think it's my first occurrence of ever lucid dreaming. And it was almost like a deja vu in the dream. Or maybe I just kind of knew it was a sketchy dream. So, in the dream, it was a movie theater, and I was with my dad and my sister, and we were going to go see a movie.
Right.
And I think they were trying to take me into a horror movie of some sort. And I was like, nah. I know this shit's a fucking dream. I know if we go in there that monster's gonna come out of the screen and come and get me. So they were like literally trying to pull me into the movie theater, and I like had to pull away from them. And then like I don't think the movie theater doors would open, so I had to like break through them to get outside. And then like they were kind of just like yelling for me to come back in and watch the movie. And, like, this is when I first... Well, I guess at this point I was already lucid dreaming because I realized I was dreaming. But this is when I first attempted to fly in a lucid dream because I thought that was the only way to get away from said situation was to fly away. And, yeah.
And then it worked?
I don't know if I managed to fly. I didn't get good at flying and lucid dreaming until very recently. As stupid as it sounds... The thing that triggers me to fly in lucid dreams now, because like I've always had difficulty with it, it's like my mind doesn't like the idea of me flying. I just swim through air now to fly.
Huh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
See, I've never like lucid dreamed in my life.
Yeah, that's depressing.
Yeah, I know. I want to, but I just feel like I'm too slow to realize it's a dream. Normally, like
you will start waking up.
I wake up.
Yeah, you start waking up. That's why I say I semi-lucid dream now, because I feel like if I try to change too much, I wake up. Every time.
You gotta play by the rules.
Yeah, you gotta kind of play by the rules. You gotta let your brain have control to a degree. I feel like maybe people who are better at lucid dreaming than me say otherwise. Maybe they just fucking play around for 8 hours every night, or whatever their REM cycle is, 2 hours. But no. I don't get much time out of it, even when I'm doing my best.
Right.
There's only been a few occasions where, like, I felt like I had control for a while. And honestly, wouldn't say those are the more fun occasions. Because, like, when you have full control, you kind of just start breaking shit and flying around. Like, it's
literally
not that
just
fun.
A video game.
Yeah, it's basically a video game at that point. You're not as creative as your brain, I feel like, necessarily. Like, you know, so, like, I feel like it gets more bland the more control you have.
Yeah, your subconscious is, like, got some really, like, deep-rooted stuff that it could pull from. And, like, your conscious is more just on what you've already seen.
Yeah, I'm busy trying to think of what I want to do. Whereas my brain was like, dude, I just did it. Why are you...
why are you breaking my adventure?
Basically, yeah, it's a GM getting mad. That's why they wake you up.
Yep.
They kick you out of the campaign. All right, well, we're at 1 hour and 6 minutes.
Hour and 6 minutes? Well, I mean, that's perfect, because, I mean, that was the only two topics.
Yeah, we did the topics. I don't think we need to do any kind of Reddit perusing. I think we are pretty good there. I mean, we talked about dreams the whole fucking podcast, besides, like, the beginning bit where we talked about Deja Vu for a bit. I mean, I had a thing about employee surveys, but we can talk about that on the next podcast.
Yeah,
if
we can always save a little extra if not. I mean, I'm sure
I don't want to go too much over an hour. It feels like at that point, why not just record a second one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think that's probably.
And that's where we start getting into sketchy territory with batteries, also.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. I didn't even
it'll
think
be
about
fine,
that.
but like if we do start doing like longer than an hour, we might need to figure out a battery situation that's better than our current one.
Yeah, we'll have to get that figured out. But yeah, I think for now that's a good call there. We shouldn't have to do any red stuff, so
yeah, no shop talk.
Anything else?
Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure, if you somehow made it this long, which you probably didn't, but maybe this one was probably one of our more interesting ones. At least I talked more in this one, I think, than I usually do, because dreams are something I do a lot with, so it was something I'm passionate about. But if you guys did make it this far, yep, thanks.
Yeah, thanks for listening. Peace.